Welcome back to Threshold City. This is Shadows of the Night by Raven Knight. Chapter 3, Known Variable. Liam didn't bring coffee. He brought tension. He pushed through the morgue doors like he expected something to lunge at him. No backup, no uniform parade. Just him in a dark jacket and the expression of a man who'd already rewritten his understanding of physics twice this week. Jessie didn't look up from her notes. "If you bleed on my floor," she said, "I'm charging you." Liam blinked. "Is that normal?" "For here?" Jessie said. "Absolutely." I stayed near the stainless table, arms folded, pretending my hand wasn't buzzing like a live wire. "You look worse," Liam said. "Flattered." "You don't look flattered." "I'm conserving energy." His gaze flicked to the salt ring around the corpse. "Tell me that's decorative." "It's preventative." "From?" "Eavesdropping." He stared at the body. "You said he's connected." "He was." I jerked my chin toward Jessie. "We dampened it." Jessie snapped her pen closed. "That's the word we're using, yes." Liam stepped closer to the table, eyes scanning the carved spiral. He wasn't squeamish. I'd give him that. He cataloged details like he was building a case file in his head. "Walk me through it," he said. So I did. The geometry, the incomplete spiral, the micro-ruptures in the lungs, the line carved into the heart. I left out the part where something had brushed the inside of my mind. That was mine. When I finished, Liam leaned back against the counter, arms crossing slowly. "So?" he said. "They killed him to open a door." "They killed him to knock on it." "And you're the door?" "I'm the lock." He looked like a man rearranging a lifetime of disbelief in under a minute. His jaw tightened. "You keep saying they. Who are they?" I met his eyes. "I don't know yet." "That's not good enough." "It's all I've got." Silence stretched between us. Jessie watched like she was observing a surgical disagreement. Liam rubbed a hand over his mouth. "You said in the alley this was a test." "It was." "And you passed?" "Barely." "And now?" "Now they know how hard they have to push." He absorbed that. You could see it settling in, rearranging furniture inside his skull. "Why you?" he asked finally. "Good question. Because I was born on a thin place? Because something in my blood resonates with fractures? Because the universe has a sense of humor?" "Because I close things," I said instead. "That's not an answer." "It's the only one that matters." His eyes sharpened. "You've seen this before." "Not this. Not this precise, but close enough to taste." "I've seen attempts," I said. "Small tears, sloppy rituals, people trying to rip something open without understanding what's on the other side." "And this?" "This is someone who understands." Jessie cleared her throat. "I hate to interrupt the apocalypse briefing, but I found something else." We both turned. She held up a small evidence tray. On it sat a sliver of something metallic. Not steel, not silver. Darker, matte. "I found it embedded under the sternum," she said. "Too small to notice until I opened him." Liam leaned in. "Shrapnel?" "Not from any weapon I know." I stepped closer. The moment I did, the tremor in my hand intensified. The metal wasn't reflective. It swallowed light, thin as a fingernail clipping, edged like it had been snapped from something larger. "Don't touch it," Jessie said automatically. I ignored her. I didn't touch it with my skin. I hovered my fingers just above it. Cold. Not temperature cold. Absence cold. Like it didn't belong to the room. "It's part of something," I murmured. "Helpful," Jessie said. "It's an anchor fragment." Liam's head snapped toward me. "An anchor to what?" I looked at the corpse. To a larger structure? Structure like a cult? Structure like architecture? The city shifted in my mind. Old tunnels, foundations laid before electricity, stone older than the skyline. If someone was embedding fragments into ritual victims. They're mapping nodes, I said. English, Liam said. They're placing markers at stress points under the city. For what? I met his gaze. To see where I show up. The words hung there. Jesse slowly set the tray down. You're telling me someone carved up a man to see if you'd walk into an alley? Yes. Liam's voice went very controlled. And you think this is about you personally? I know it is. How? Because the spiral was aligned to a ley line that runs 3 blocks from my apartment. Silence. That landed. Liam's eyes went flat. They know where you live. Probably. And you're just now mentioning that? It didn't seem relevant while reality was tearing. His jaw flexed. Evie. Don't, I said quietly. Don't what? Don't start protecting me. His brows drew together. That's my job. No. Your job is homicide. My job is keeping people alive. I'm not people. He stared at me. That's not how this works. That's exactly how this works. The tremor in my hand spiked again, sharp enough that I sucked in a breath. Liam noticed. Of course he did. He stepped closer without thinking. You're not fine. I never said I was. Jessie slid a stool under me with her foot. Sit before you faceplant and make this my problem. I sat, reluctantly. The room tilted just slightly. Not enough to fall. Enough to remind me of scale. Liam crouched in front of me, lowering himself to eye level. That was new. You said using whatever you used in the alley costs you, he said. Yes. What does it cost? Depends how hard I push. And how hard did you push? I held his gaze. Hard enough that they felt it. His voice softened, just a fraction. And it left a mark. On them? On me. He looked at my hand again. The tremor wasn't subtle now. Is it permanent? He asked. I don't know. Jessie answered instead. Nerve damage accumulates. I shot her a look. She shrugged. What? You want me to lie? Liam stood slowly. This stops, he said. I blinked. Excuse me? You don't walk into another scene alone. I wasn't alone. You were in the middle of a symbol that shattered windows. I handled it. You almost dropped? Almost isn't dropped. His eyes darkened. You think this is a game? No, I said evenly. I think it's math. He went still. Explain. They're calculating. Testing range. Testing response time. Testing output. Every time I react, they get data. And if you don't react, people die. Silence. That was the trap. Liam exhaled through his nose. So, what's the play? There it was. Not dismissal, not denial. Strategy. We don't react how they expect, I said. And how do they expect? They expect me to show up loud and fast. You did. I won't next time. His gaze sharpened. There's going to be a next time. Yes. Jessie muttered something that sounded like a prayer but probably wasn't. Liam paced once across the tile, thinking. You said they're mapping nodes, he said. How many are there? In this district? Dozens. And how many would they need? To stress the whole system? I hesitated. 7. Maybe 9. Placed correctly. He stopped pacing. Then we find them first. I almost smiled. That's ambitious. I'm ambitious. You're human. And you're not? The question landed heavier than he meant it to. I didn't answer, because the truth was complicated. Instead, I looked at the sliver of metal in the tray. "They'll use more of those," I said. "Fragments embedded in victims at key intersections." "So we track similar murders," he said. "Yes." "And if there aren't any yet, then we wait." He didn't like that. I didn't either. The lights above us flickered once more. Subtle. But all three of us noticed. The hum under the building hadn't disappeared. It had retreated, like something stepping back to observe. Liam's phone buzzed. He glanced at it, frowned. "What?" I asked. "Another body." The words hit like cold water. "Where?" I said. He checked the screen. His jaw tightened. "2 blocks from your apartment." The tremor in my hand stopped. Not because it healed, because everything inside me went still. "They're escalating," Jessie whispered. "No," I said softly. "They're adjusting." Liam was already moving toward the door. I stood before the room finished spinning. "Evie," he said, "if this is another test." "It is. And if they're trying to draw you out, they succeeded." He caught my arm as I moved past him. "Then we don't walk in blind." I looked down at his hand on my sleeve, then back at his face. "Detective," I said quietly, "you're already in." His grip tightened for half a second. Then he let go. "Fine," he said. "But this time, we measure back." For the first time since the alley, something inside me shifted. Not fear, not confidence, recognition. Someone out there was building a file on me, so I'd build one on them. "Okay," I said. I wasn't prey anymore. I was the hunter now. End of chapter 3. The investigation continues in the next chapter. Thanks for listening.